This is how to play T-Bone Shuffle, and I'm also using this song as a vehicle to teach a 12-bar blues bass line, some jazzy chords over the top, and then this awesome lead line which changes depending on what chord we're playing over. Absolutely crucial blues concepts, and check out my other more recent blues tutorials if you like this kind of thing, because they're all going in a little bit of a sequential order to help you guys play these great songs and to play some blues playing. This song was released by T-Bone Walker in 1947, and it is a massive crossover point between the jazz, which had been so popular before then, the blues, which was really popular at the time, and then the rock and roll, which was to come. It's all in this song, and there are many quotes from Chuck Berry to say that he got all his licks and all his stagecraft moves from T-Bone Walker. So let's learn this great song. I'm going to teach this song in reverse, so we're going to start with the lead line first because it is more repetitive, and it is the signature part of this song. Okay, so we've got one riff, for example, because it is a riff, it's repeating exactly the same, starting off, this is imagining a G bar chord's really good idea. And we got that, it's just going to repeat and repeat and repeat with one change, primarily. So the notes, 5, 3, 4, exactly the same again. And then we have an ending part which goes 3, 5, 4, and then it repeats again. The third time round, we're on what I consider the second line of the 3 lines of 12-bar blues. We're on the 4 chord, which is the C7, which we need that note for because it's dominant 7. So anytime you were playing the 4th fret, it just changes to 3. When it repeats again, it finishes on the 4, and we're back to the original. And then we're back to the original lick, apart from when we finish this in its entirety, when we have that repeating cycle. So let me just play through all of this really slowly. Again, it's all based on 3 notes. 1, 2, 3, and then a repetition of. That's all that's going to happen, okay? It's just a repetition of that with one variation. Here we go from the top. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. And that's it. The chords that are playing over, and let's jazz them up a little bit. So let's play a G6, which is 3rd fret, 5th fret, the middle finger, and the first finger, importantly, it's only really barring the thinnest string and the thickest string. We got the 4th fret, so that would be a G7. To make it a G6, we're going to have that little finger down at the 5th fret, and again this first finger is muting the other strings and just holding down string 1 and 6. Straight away sounds so jazz. You know, bar chord, jazzy chord. And I was just playing down, 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 down. The second chord's a C9. Essentially like a C add 9. But we're also going to be holding down the dominant 7th, because when we're in blues and jazz and we're talking about 9 chords, we typically add the 7 as well. So you could have a 3rd finger or a little finger flat, but I just kind of flatten them off. You probably have the little finger more barring. but we still need that first finger ringing out. So we've got 3rd fret, 2nd fret, 3rd, 3rd, 3rd. Back to G6. Crucially, it's kind of, this is how you see the jazz influence here, okay? We've got A minor 7 to a D9. We play those 2 chords, it sounds jazz, it's not sounding like blues or rock and roll at all. These chord choices, A minor 7 to D9, back to the G6, are all absolutely jazz chords. So in total, that on its own would be down, 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 down a G6, changing to C9, back to G6, A minor, and here's essentially the bass line, which you wouldn't have to play on guitar, because if you jam along to the original recording, the band are playing this part for you. But it's really good to learn these kind of bass lines, especially if you're into your riff playing, because most rock riffs are based on a variation of this kind of thing. This is where you see why we played the G6 earlier, because we're going root, 3rd, 5th, 6th. That's the note that the kind of rock and roll riff, the kind of that kind of thing. This is a G5 power chord to a G6, and now you see why. Going to 3, 2, open, 2. So exactly the same so far, but because of how a guitar is tuned, and because we're going to that octave, it would be here. Root, 3rd, 5th, open, so 6 octave, and then back. And then my little turnaround was going from a D note, and then I've gone for a 7th, from that. And that only happens once, and then we're back to the root. So let me build that up again for you so you can see all of that happening one part at a time. Here we go. So that's how to play T-Bone Shuffle and a 12-bar blues in the key of G that's really, really jazz influenced. But you can also see how this could go very rock and roll with just a couple of tweaks. I hope you really enjoyed this one, guys. Let me know any other suggestions in the comments below, and I hope to see you next time.